Follow the steps outlined below to factor the quadratic trinomial x squared minus 10x plus 24. Okay, so let's think about the two types of factoring that we spoke about already. And the first thing we're asked to do is rule out GCF factoring. Okay, so we should know that for GCF factoring, we need something that goes into every single part. If we look at the 24, yes, there are some numbers that go into 24 and 10, but they won't go into this 1x squared. And yet, x might go into the first two terms, but not into the third term. So you need to explain that all three terms don't have any common factors, and you can't use GCF. Okay, we also can't use dots factoring because the difference of two squares was for two numbers. This one is a quadratic trinomial. Trinomial means that it has three parts split up by addition and subtraction. So it's going to have its own method. Every time you see that it's a quadratic, something with an x squared, trinomial, three parts. Okay, our first step is open two parentheses and begin each one with an x. So we're trying to put together two binomials that had multiplied to give us a quadratic trinomial. Bring the first operation sign of the expression down into the first parentheses. So this is our first operation sign. We're going to bring that subtraction sign down into the first parentheses. Okay, next. Circle the second operation sign of the expression. This one's much more important than that first sign. It's going to come up. We're going to have to do two different things with it. First of all, a plus sign like we have here implies that the operations in both parentheses will be the same. So whatever this one was, that x minus, the next one will be the same if this is a plus sign. If that was a minus sign, we would have purposely made them different. Okay, list all pairs of factors of the last term. The last term is this number, 24. We have to list all the pairs of factors that make 24. 1 and 24, 2 and 12. I'm just going up one number at a time. 3 goes into 24 8 times. 4 goes into 24 6 times. 5 doesn't go in. 6 goes in again, but then we're back to this pair. So these are all the pairs of factors of the last term, the 24. Plus would tell us, you see, that plus that we circled before tells us to choose the pair of numbers that also adds to the middle term. What was our middle term? Well, in this case, it was 10. Which pair of numbers here adds to 10? And we should see that it's 4 plus 6 that's going to add to 10. Our last step is to put the larger number in the first parentheses. So we had x minus, right? And the larger of these two numbers was the 6. We put the 6 here, the 4 here, and these are our binomial factors. We can always check, because if you distribute these, right, or use the box method, you will end up with this quadratic trinomial. But again, these were the steps. Two parentheses, x and x. Bring the first sign down into the first parentheses, circle your second sign. Plus means they're going to be the same. Minus would mean they're going to be different. List all factors of the last term. If this was plus, you're looking for the pair that adds to the middle. If this is minus, you'd be looking for the pair that subtracts to the middle, right? Like 12 minus 2 could have been 10 as well, if that were a minus sign. Larger number in the first parentheses, and you're done.